gotta say it's accurate to the name Spicy Cheddar Jack. Yes, I would. I think they did a pretty good job with these. Now, are they my favorite tasting chip? First impression says no. But you know, it's foolish to to judge things solely off of first impressions, or even primarily off of first impressions. Because first impressions are often wrong. And you might say, well, even though the first impression might be wrong, first impression is still important because most things don't get a second chance if they don't pass the first impression. Yeah, I know. Therein lies the problem, right? It's this vicious cycle of placing too much importance on a first impression, and then only sticking with the things that gave you a good first impression. And so now, all of a sudden, you think first impressions matter. No. You just tend to stick with it and give things a second chance when they pass the first impression. But, you know, impressions can be wrong. Behavior can be anomalous in a first impression. I need some of this. That spice is getting in the back of my throat. I don't want to start coughing. I wish it were spicier in the mouth. But it's just annoyingly spicy after you swallow. And you know, I think that's a significant characteristic of spice, is the back of your throat after you swallow feel. But I, for one, care more about the in your mouth while you're eating spice than I do about the so-called afterburn. I don't know if this mic is picking that up, but my cat moved in with me. She's at my parents' house for almost 3 years since I found her on the street one day when I was walking around the block of my parents' house. Check this thing out. Anyway, found this cat on the street. Long story short, the cat adopted me, basically. I fell in love with the cat. And so I rescued the cat. I don't know why I did it like that. Whatever. I have the cat now. Okay. It's been a week since this cat moved in with me. Like a week and a day. Or something. And it's been an adjustment for sure. I have to adjust living with a cat in my fairly still new apartment. And the cat has to adjust being abruptly having her entire world flipped on a dime with no prior warning. So the cat's adjusting to that. every evening, it's the same routine. Give her dinner. She'll sniff at it, and she'll maybe eat a little bit. Or if I give her dinner late, by accident or by whatever, if I just had to give it to her late, then she'll maybe eat a little bit more. But she'll eat maybe 10% of the food max. And then she'll leave. And she'll do some other stuff. And then she'll come back and she'll eat a little more. And then the next morning, the food is 80 to 90% eaten. And the rest I just toss. When it's wet food. She likes her dry food more, weirdly enough. And so the dry food is usually all gone. The wet food, she never quite licks the bowl clean. There's always a little bit of food left. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I'm trying to chew more thoroughly. Chew my food more thoroughly. Because if you chew your food more thoroughly, then you'll digest your food better. And if you digest your food better, you'll have a healthier gut. And if you have a healthier gut, then you have a healthier life. You can quote me on that. I've always thought that phrase was a little silly. You can quote me on that. I understand if somebody says, don't quote me on that. Because they're like requesting or demanding that someone doesn't do something that they're likely to do. But to say, you can quote me on that, I don't think people need permission. Like, to quote somebody on something. So I went thrifting this afternoon. And my cats live through, like, human beings rely so heavily on their vision and their eyesight. Never mind. Maybe I can call her. That's how I call my cat. I don't do pss, 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 pss. I don't do that. I go. Oh, I hear her. She's using her litter box. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Reading the ingredients on this Arnold Palmer, and I don't know why I did that. I should just not do that. For foods like these, I should just stay away from reading what the ingredients are. But I don't. And that's what happens when you get a phone call in the middle of shooting a video. Anyway, I kind of forgot what I was talking about before. But I'm sure it was just more indulgent music. And nothing particularly life-changing. So, we move onward. I'm nearing the end of the pack here. If you don't do what I'm doing right now after you finish a bag of chips, you are very strange. This is the best part of the whole bag of chips. All the powder left on your fingertips. I didn't drink as much of this as I thought I would. Which I guess means that the chips were good. Because for me, when what I'm eating is really enjoyable and I have a drink next to me, a beverage, then I will just focus on eating and I won't really drink anything. Versus when the food I'm having is just okay or as expected or below par, then I will drink more of my beverage as a result. we are. You do what you can. You make improvements where you can. I try and adapt a more understanding mindset to my lifestyle improvements. Because I want to make improvements that I can see myself doing forever. And I don't see myself doing unenjoyable things forever. So I have to be either neutral or enjoying the life change in order for it to really be, to have longevity. One of the things that I'm neutral about, and I actually sometimes enjoy, is chewing more, which aids your digestion. So, okay, that's not part of my habits, but I'll incorporate that because it's a positive addition to my life in general. But to cut out drinking a nice cold beverage after a spicy, dry meal like that, this is so refreshing right now that I can't really see myself completely cutting it out. Now, in situations where I don't mind not having a beverage, like if I'm eating something wetter like pasta and with pasta sauce, or I don't know, rice and lentils, or rice and beans, or something, doesn't like dry your mouth out, then I wouldn't really feel the refreshment and enjoyment of drinking a cold beverage after. And so in circumstances like those, I don't mind cutting out the beverage. But in circumstances like these, I will not hold hard and fast to my rule of no beverages after your meal, because I just enjoy having one. I hope that all made sense. Because I'd rather enjoy life, I think that's the core of it all, is I want to enjoy life. I don't think I'm going to finish this whole bottle, though. Because it's a lot. It's pretty big. There's 34 fluid ounces, or 4.25 cups. I don't know why that took me a strangely long time to calculate that. It's because I forgot how many fluid ounces are in a cup. And I was caught between 6 and 8. And even now, I'm